Ancient Rome is an amazing civilization that can be talked about endlessly. But among the many stories, one of the most interesting and instructive concerns the life and reign of one of the most famous Roman emperors, Nero. Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus was born on December 1537 AD. He became emperor at the age of just 16 after the death of his predecessor Claudius. The first years of his reign were marked by relative calm and progress. At that time, Rome was flourishing, and Nero, thanks to the wise advice of his mother Agrippina, was able to achieve good results in managing the empire. However, despite his initial success, in the following years Nero became known for his eccentric personality and violent actions, which quickly overshadowed his positive beginnings. One of the most significant events in his reign was the Great Roman Fire of 64, which engulfed most of the city of Rome. The fire started in the area of the commercial port and then quickly spread, destroying many houses, temples, and public buildings. As a result, this incident has left thousands of people homeless. Historians disagree on whether Nero was involved in starting the fire. Some claim that he himself set fire to the city to make way for the construction of his magnificent palace, known as the Golden House Domus Aurea. These walkers in history, who sincerely believed that Nero wanted to create a new and magnificent Rome, lead to reflections on the mechanisms of power and the passion for greatness. According to other sources, Nero, while in Antioch, tried throughout the fire to organize assistance to people affected by the destruction, which also testifies to the complex nature of his character and post-imperial ambitions. Nevertheless, after the fire, Nero faced growing popular discontent, and in order to distract attention from his failures, he found a scapegoat: Christians. This marked the beginning of one of the most brutal persecutions of Christians in Roman history. Nero accused them of arson and carried out terrible executions. Some Christians were tortured, others were burned alive, and others were thrown to the amusement of wild animals. These brutal acts of execution were not only a means of intimidation, but also a way to strengthen their power. This period became known as the persecution of Nero, and it became a symbol of the brutality of the Roman authorities. The people, gripped by fear, learned that the forces guarding order can be ruthless. However, Nero is not only remembered for his madness and cruelty, he was also a well-known patron of the arts. During his reign, Rome became the center of cultural life. Nero himself loved performing on stage. He sang, played the lute, and participated in theatrical performances. Nero believed that art could raise the spirit of the people and actively encouraged artists, which led to the rapid development of music and theater in Rome. His patronage helped make cultural events more accessible to ordinary Romans, and soon the theaters were filled with spectators eager to see performances. One of the most striking and strange episodes of the Nero era was his participation in music competitions. He even went to Greece to participate in the Olympic Games in 67, where he won, putting his talent in music and poetry into the competition. Despite the fact that it seemed absurd to many to be an emperor speaking in public, Nero seemed to derive real pleasure and enjoyment from it. He spent time with artists, studied with them, and even organized his own contests, where critics praised and those who were unhappy laughed. His eccentric behavior often caused confusion among senators and aristocrats, but ordinary people associated Nero with the beginning of a new era of cultural change. Unfortunately, Nero could not escape his fate. As the situation in the Roman Empire worsened and as a result of the growing shortage of resources, his rule began to cause discontent among senators and the military. Rome faced economic difficulties, and its extravagant lifestyle bred hatred and insecurity. In 68 AD, an uprising began, which led to his overthrow. Nero fled Rome and, finding himself in a desperate situation, committed suicide, uttering the sad phrase, "What a great artist is dying." His death marked the end of the Julius-Claudian dynasty and the beginning of the era of the years of the four emperors, when Rome experienced political instability and a struggle for power. Despite his rebellious rule, Nero left many with a lesson about what arbitrariness and madness of power can lead to. His personal story is a vivid reminder that even the most powerful rulers can fall into the abyss if their actions do not comply with the righteous principles of governance. Nero is also a symbol of the great cultural changes that took place in the Roman Empire, which left an indelible mark on history. Ancient Rome is full of similar stories of power, culture, and human passions that shaped its greatness and fall. These stories about the rise and fall of great personalities, social unrest, and cultural transformations give us a unique opportunity to look into the depths of human nature and understand the origins of modern societies. Each of these stories brings us valuable wisdom about human nature and the very society in which we live. These ancient lessons remain relevant today, highlighting the fragility of power and the demand for moral guidance in the art of government and life. If you want to hear more stories about the ancient ruler, interesting facts about the ancient times of our civilization, then please like and subscribe to the channel.